Of all the planets in space, Earth would be a terrifying place for an outsider. All those marsh planets, desert and jungle planets, and ocean planets in the sci-fi movies and books are based on the diversity of things here at home. We'd be visiting the third rock from the sun as tourists if we were from one of those universes. But we are not from the sci-fi worlds. We're from Earth. And now we're about to share with you the most terrifying planets humanity has come across. Number 4. 55 Cancri E. Ever wonder what hell on Earth is like? Well, here we have for you hell on rocky Earth. This rocky planet, 55 Cancri E, fondly known as 55 Cranky E, is a rocky planet that is just a little too close to its host star and was never thought possible. This giant planet of lava is so hot that the side facing the star is an ocean of liquid magma. The surface is boiling lava on 55 Cancri E. We are well aware of exoplanets where gas and ocean reign over them. This planet is a different monstrosity. 55 Cancri E, or Janssen, orbits a G-type star similar to our Sun. Its mass is 8.08 Earths, so it takes longer to orbit its star, which is 0.7 days. The destination death zone is a close neighbor and is 4.1 light-years away. This invisible dot among the stars is a planet which is like Earth, except it is much closer to its star, with temperatures hot enough to melt and evaporate rocks and possibly oceans of lava, with clouds that rain molten rock. And all of this makes perfect sense, as it is only a quarter of the distance between the Sun and Mercury. A rocky planet is the best place to look for life, since life on a gas giant is hard to imagine. But what we have here is a global lava ocean. And if that wasn't terrifying enough, the atmosphere of Cranky E possibly has HCN, one hydrogen atom, one carbon atom, one nitrogen atom. Sounds pretty harmless, right? That, my friend, is cyanide. So to pump up the deadliness factor, this lava world adds a poisonous cyanide atmosphere. The molten surface is utterly uninhabitable, which goes without saying. While all this ordeal goes on at 55 Cancri E, its sister planet, Galileo, hangs in the dark sky above it. Silicates in the atmosphere would condense into clouds on the tidally locked planet's dark side, reflecting the lava below. So the skies would sparkle. While humanity will never dare set foot into this hell in space, this is what our Earth would be like if it were close enough to the Sun. It would have one of its hemispheres in scorching daylight and the other in eternal darkness. Number 3. K2-141b. With a magma ocean and a rocky rain, we have here another hell planet, 202 light-years away from the Earth. 5.08 Earths is K2-141b, which takes 0.3 days to complete one orbit around its star. The parent star, K2-141, has a temperature 20% lower than the temperature of the Sun. But what's with the magma ocean if the Sun's not even hot enough? The bizarre distance between the planet and its star is the sense behind the molten magma oceans. Take Earth, now swipe out the water for lava, and you have the planet K2-141b. It's a world that is scorching hot on one side and freezing on the other, with a magma ocean about 62 miles deep, and the rain of rock evaporates and then showers in a regular cycle similar to the water cycle on Earth. The rock vapor created on the day side of the planet also acts as precipitation, so the cycle is similar to what happens on Earth, but with no water involved. This exotic world has supersonic winds over 3,100 miles per hour. Moreover, this planet is tidally locked to its star, so the same side is always facing the star, just like one side of the moon always faces Earth. Lava worlds like K2-141b are unexplored in our solar system. Even Mercury isn't close enough to the Sun to have magma oceans on its surface. The lava flows from volcanoes on Earth and Jupiter's moon can give an idea of what it's like. But it's still not the same as having much of, or most of, a planet's entire surface melted to create magma oceans. Several billion years ago, Earth and other rocky planets in our solar system used to be kinds of lava worlds when they were first starting to form and were still extremely hot, molten, and uninhabitable. So this is the closest to the hell of a planet K2-141b relates. But we also know that the planets in our solar system gradually cooled and became solid and are the rocky worlds we see today. Number 2. Kelt 9b. Surprisingly, K2141b isn't the only scorching hot planet out there. The Kelt 9b in ultra-hot Jupiter is one of the hottest known exoplanets. Kelt 9b stands as a rival for our Sun, with a dayside temperature of more than 7,800 degrees Fahrenheit. Kelt 9b is a planet that is hotter than most stars. While the planet is already sizzling, its sun is even firier, with a temperature of 10,170 Kelvin. Kelt 9b is a gas giant, half as dense as Jupiter, but about 2.8 times more massive. The planet would have had a smaller radius, but the extreme radiation from its host star has forced the planet's atmosphere to puff up like a balloon. The planet is also unusual in terms of orbit hours. 1 year on this planet is less than 2 days long. Earth was similar to Kelt 9b in its younger days, as it too used to revolve oddly quickly. The Kelt 9 star is also 300 million years old, which is young in star time. It is twice as hot as the Sun and twice as large. Since the planet's atmosphere is 24/7 blasted with high levels of ultraviolet radiation, the planet may even be on the verge of shedding a tail of evaporated planetary material like a comet. Number 1. V391 Peg B. In the constellation of Pegasus lies a planet orbiting a star near the end of its life. V391 Pegasi b is having it worse than Kelt 9b. This exoplanet is experiencing the full wrath of its lost star. The Peg B is the first planet located orbiting a dying star. This exoplanet orbits its sun at about 160 million miles, or 1.7 Earth distances from the Sun, called an astronomical unit, or AU. Researchers say the most likely scenario is that the planet once orbited about 1 AU from V391 Pegasi, which closed the gap to 0.3 AU during its red giant phase, and finally lost its outer mass, allowing the planet to migrate further away. The star has a mass twice as small as our Sun, but still has a temperature of almost 30,000 Kelvin. The white dwarf is slowly transitioning into a black one and has already seeded its outer layer. The planet V391 Pegasi b has for it an amazing slot, as it has persisted the shedding and was also known to be within the star for some time. At the time being, the V391 Pegasi b is a gas giant with a mass as much as Jupiter. The orbital period, or to say it another way, the planet's year, is 1,170 days, or 3.21 Earth years. By the time the Earth has completed a full year, the planet will have completed 0.31 orbits of its star. It is an astronomical miracle that the planet managed to outlast the scorching heat of its star. Its star's influence was supposed to have beaten the planet. However, it is clear that the collapse of the star brought about dramatic changes in it, and we are forever forbidden from knowing what the planet was like pre-collision. If it is confirmed, its survival would indicate that planets at Earth-like distances can survive their star's red giant phase, though this is a much larger planet than Earth. As much as humanity needs new worlds, the trail of evidence leading up to the discovery of extraterrestrial life never ends, and still doesn't give any input on a habitable planet. While every discovery about space is thrilling and frustrating, the scariest thing we could discover in space would be extraterrestrial life.